Elon Musk just made a move that Wall Street is calling inevitable. Wedbush analysts put the odds at over 80% that SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell basically confirmed it on CNBC right after the June IPO that a merger between Tesla and SpaceX could be happening. And here's what everybody got wrong. Nobody's talking about the real reason this is happening. The news outlets are calling it visionary, synergies, vertical integration, AI convergence. But as a Series 7 broker, I learned to read between the lines on deals like this. And there's a problem. A specific problem that shows up when a company is in trouble and the CEO needs to hide it. It's called a bailout merger. And it's one of the biggest red flags in all of finance. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to teach you how to spot one. Because this Tesla-SpaceX deal, it's a textbook example. And once you understand this, you'll see it everywhere. So what exactly is a bailout merger? And how do you spot one? A bailout merger is when a company that's running out of cash or facing performance pressures merges with a company that just got a valuation boost, usually from an IPO, an SPAC deal, or recent funding round. The struggling company uses the hot company's high valuation to hide its own problems. On the surface, it looks like growth. In reality, it's life support. So here's the pattern. Red flag number one, the timing. The IPO or fundraising just happened. We're talking days or weeks. The hot company has momentum. The other company quietly struggling. Red flag number two, the narrative shift. Before the merger talk, the struggling company was blamed for execution issues or market headwinds. After the merger talk, suddenly it's about synergies and convergence and platform strategy. The story changes fast. Red flag number three, the CEO's take. The CEO controls way more voting power at the hot company than the struggling company. So they don't need board approval from shareholders who might say no. They can force the deal. Red flag number four, the valuation math doesn't work. The combined equity market cap is so high that it requires execution so flawless it borders on impossible. But the message is all about inevitable synergy. All four of these red flags, SpaceX deal has all of them. Every single one. So let me show you. SpaceX IPO'd in June 2026. Within weeks, merger rumors started flying. CNBC reports in May, Shotwell confirms in June, Wedbush puts odds at 80%, all before Q3 even closes. That's not organic speculation. That's a planned timeline. Now, why does timing matter? Because right after an IPO, a company's stock price is usually inflated. Not fraudulently, it's just hot. We talked about all that in one of the previous videos. The market is excited. Momentum is up. Valuation multiples are at their peak. This is the best time to acquire another company using your stock as currency. You offer fewer shares because your price is high, and you dilute your existing shareholders less. And here's the thing, by the time the market figures out that the deal was a bad idea, you've already locked in the merger. That's the beauty of it, or the problem with it. Compare that to Tesla. Tesla's been public for 15 years. Its stock price reflects reality, not hype. Its upside is baked in. SpaceX is the opposite. The IPO hype, Starlink momentum, the AI narrative, and Elon's name. The stock is flying. That window, it closes once SpaceX has to prove profitability. Once the IPO pop fades, the stock corrects. And suddenly the merger math doesn't look as good. This is red flag number one. If you see a hot IPO and merger talk within days, that's not coincidence. That's someone moving fast before the valuation opportunity closes. 6 months ago, here's what analysts were saying about Tesla. Margin pressure. Optimus isn't generating revenue. EV competition is heating up. Capital spending is too high. All true, all problems. Then SpaceX IPO happens. One day later, the narrative changes. Suddenly, it's not Tesla has an execution problem. It's Tesla and SpaceX convergence. It's synergies. It's vertical integration. It's AI empire. The problems didn't go away. The story just changed. This is red flag number two, when a struggling company's problems suddenly become strategic opportunities. The week after a hot IPO, someone is spinning the narrative. Here's what actually happened under the surface. Tesla was bleeding margins. The board and investors were getting nervous. Optimus hasn't shipped meaningful revenue. FSD is still not level 5. The company needed a story that made the current problems look like investments in the future, not execution failures. Enter the SpaceX IPO. Boom. Suddenly, you've got a new story. We're not struggling. We're converging with a 1.75 trillion rocket company into a 3.4 trillion AI empire. Sounds great. Same company, same margin, same problems, new packaging. But here's the thing, packaging doesn't fix margins. Narrative doesn't create cash flow. And what matters most to stockholders is cash flow. The narrative is designed to distract from the numbers. And if you're paying attention, the numbers are what always wins. Here's where this gets dangerous for shareholders. Elon Musk owns 13% of Tesla, but this is important. He has options and performance awards that could push that to 25% if he hits targets. So officially, he's a minority shareholder. The Tesla board has to answer to other shareholders. Now switch to SpaceX. Musk owns approximately 49% of shares, but controls 85% of voting power. So do you see the problem? At Tesla, Musk needs board approval. He needs shareholder votes. Other board members can say, no, that deal would destroy shareholders' value. We're not doing it. At SpaceX, he doesn't need anyone's permission. He controls 85% of the votes. He can force whatever deal he wants. This is red flag number 3. When a CEO controls one company but not the other and wants to merge them, the incentives are catastrophically misaligned. Here's what actually matters to Musk in this deal. SpaceX stock price goes up. That increases his wealth directly since he controls SpaceX voting. Tesla shareholders take the deal because they get forced into it or because they believe the narrative. The merger ratio is as favorable to him as possible. Fewer SpaceX shares issued equal less dilution to his stake. Here's what doesn't matter to him. Whether Tesla shareholders get good value in the swap, whether the combined company actually hits the profit targets needed to justify the $3.4 trillion valuation, whether the deal makes sense for long-term shareholder returns, the governance structure literally makes it impossible for Tesla shareholders to protect themselves. Musk controls the acquisition vehicle, SpaceX. He doesn't need their permission. And once the deal closes, the separate shareholder bases merge anyway. That's not a partnership. That's a takeover dressed up as a merger. Now we get to the last red flag. And this one is the most important. The combined company would be worth $3.4 trillion. Maybe $3.6 trillion, well, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Depends on how much SpaceX stock runs. For that to be justified, this company needs to hit some numbers. Analyst David Trainer at Morningstar actually ran the discounted cash flow model. He took a $3.4 trillion valuation and worked backwards to see what profit targets the company needs to hit by 2035. $248 billion in annual net income, $1.1 trillion in revenue. To put that in perspective, that's more revenue than Amazon generated last year, more profit than Alphabet makes combined. And remember, Amazon is already the cloud computing giant. Alphabet already owns the search and ad empire. The merged Tesla-SpaceX would need to dominate cloud computing, competing with Amazon, Azure, and Google, own consumer business broadband, compete with T-Mobile, Verizon, traditional ISPs, still win in EVs against all kinds of major automakers, scale Optimus robots to profitability, maintain Starlink growth, make AI data centers work at scale, and do all this simultaneously. Trainer's quote, really out of this world. And here's the thing, that's the base case. That assumes flawless execution, no regularity problems, no tech breakthroughs by competitors, no recession. This red flag number 4, if the numbers don't work even in the best case scenario, the deal is a bet on something that doesn't yet exist. So let me tie all this together for you. Red flag number 1, hot IPO and merger, announcement within weeks. Move fast before a valuation window closes. Red flag number 2, struggling companies' problems suddenly become strategic opportunities. Someone is spinning their narrative away from the numbers. Red flag number 3, CEO controls one company, not the other. Incentives are misaligned. Shareholders have no leverage. Red flag number 4, combined company needs impossible profit targets to justify this new valuation. The deal is a bet on the impossible. So Tesla and SpaceX merger has all 4 of these, all 4 flags, every single one. So here's what actually happens if you own Tesla stock. You get forced into SpaceX stock whether you like it or not. Musk controls SpaceX's voting, not the Tesla board. You don't get a choice. You don't get a shareholder vote that means anything. You're swapping shares in a company that's proven it can be profitable for shares in a company that needs to achieve execution targets that have never been hit before. And the CEO's incentive is not to maximize your value in the swap, it's to maximize his dilution. And the narrative is designed to make it sound genius. Convergence, synergies, AI empire. But the numbers tell a different story. A $3.4 trillion company needs to beat Amazon and Alphabet and win 3 different markets simultaneously. That's not a strategy, that's desperation and a pipe dream. And when you see all 4 red flags light up at once, that's the signal someone is in trouble and they're using merger to hide it. Now, Elon Musk is genuinely brilliant, obviously. Starlink works, Starship works, Optimus is real. It's all here. I'm not saying that he can't execute, but there's execution and then there's what this deal requires. And those are 2 different things. So here's the thing about bailout mergers. Once you learn to spot them, you'll see them everywhere. The 4 red flags I just showed you, they're not unique to Tesla and SpaceX. They're the playbook. IPO hype, narrative shift, voting control misalignment, impossible math. You will see these again in the future with different companies and different patterns. Now, are these 2 going to merge? Who knows? But Amazon is buying a struggling logistics startup right after some hot IPO. Meta acquiring a flattering AI company. Apple considering consolidation after missing margins. The pattern doesn't change. Only the companies do. These higher level people just like to make stuff up. And here's what matters. If you can identify those 4 red flags, you can identify when a company is in trouble before the market does. You can see the bailout is being planned while everyone else is reading the PR. You protect yourself. What does that mean? It means you probably should sell Tesla. Because once you understand the game, you can stop getting fooled by it. The Tesla-SpaceX deal probably happens at some point. You know, Wedbush puts it at 80%. Shotwell basically confirmed it. The timing is locked in. But whether it happens or not, the lesson is permanent. Bailout mergers follow patterns, and those patterns are predictable, and we just went through the 4. So subscribe to this. I will bring you breaking financial news. I will break it down for lessons that you can actually use. You can learn from my videos. I'm not just going to tell you the news. I'm going to let you learn. So we have new videos coming out all the time. I appreciate the support and all the greatness. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hit thumbs up and subscribe for more cool content. Let me know what you think about this topic. Is Elon pulling the wool over our eyes? It looks that way to me. Do you own Tesla? Do you still own that SpaceX IPO? Let me know. I'm here. Let's talk. Peace.